It comes up every spring. That's all they show. They don't show any of our saves. They just show the goal.
Remember this goal?
Dineen out front, shoots, hit a stick. Comes to the line. LaFontaine shot. He scores!
Well, Bob Mason does.
By the look on Mason's face, he couldn't see it.
And he talks about it in this episode of I Was in Net 4. 1987, Capitals and Islanders Game 7 of the Patrick Division semifinal, or as you probably know it, the Easter Epic. The longest Game 7 in NHL history. 4 overtimes, and it ended just before 2 a.m. in Washington. And believe it or not, before this huge game, the Capitals' starting goaltender was a bit of a mystery. Bob Mason and Pete Peters had each played 3 games in this series, and head coach Brian Murray was not giving away anything.
Brian has Pete and myself leave the morning skate at the same time. I think Pete stepped off, I stepped off. He didn't want them to get a lead on who's starting. I knew I was playing. I knew the night before. So Brian was kind of playing games. They were, obviously watching the morning skate.
Now, Mason wasn't too busy early on in this one. In fact, he faced only 10 shots through the first 2 periods. And for a hockey game most known for its length, with the Capitals up 2-1, many people forget this was just 5:23 away from ending in regulation.
When Trottier tied it with like 5 minutes to go, the right side, he had a backhand that lifted my legs. I used to wear the Lang goalie skates, so I had the big rivets on the ankles. And when he took that shot, my ankle slipped. The rivet had sheared right off. So I had no support on that ankle. It was 5 minutes to go in the game.
Van Hellemond is going back to take a look at the goalie, who says his strap on his pads is broken and he can't go to the bench to get it fixed, or they have to replace him.
Brian Murray did not want to put Pete in. So he played the last 5 minutes with a broken, ankle rivet in my leg skate. I don't know. I think they might have had 1 or 2 shots, but nothing serious. It was kind of another little thing that a lot of people don't know about that game.
When overtime began, it became evident very quickly that this was going to be a showdown between Mason and Islanders goaltender Kelly Hrudey.
Bjornsson coming in. He centered it back. Oh, what a save by Mason. Christian batted one across the line. Boom! Look at that save! Stop. Wood is in there. It comes to the goal line. And Mason somehow doubled back and grabbed it.
That's the thing. You're trying to match him. He's trying to match me. I think I had 36 saves in the 4 overtimes. I'm not sure what. I think they probably outshot us during the overtime periods.
If you want to talk about goaltending, somebody better get the game film of this one and hang on to it.
And as the saves piled up, so did the overtime periods.
The 4th overtime period. Well, they're out there. They're still standing.
And that's when things both on and off the ice started getting a little weird.
We did get some oxygen in there, which was really uncommon. And I think the Islanders may have had that first in their room. And I think Brian Murray found out. And Brian went off the wall that they had oxygen in their room and we didn't have it in our room. And we raised some hell. And so we got a tank in our room.
And even though they weren't fighting over oxygen, even the guys in the ESPN broadcast booth were becoming a little unhinged.
That's right out of a John Wayne Western saga. Duke, what do you think?
Well, I thought the game was yesterday, and here it is Easter today.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, Clement had the tie around his head, and yeah, it was kind of the Twilight Zone back then.
Then, in the blink of an eye, it ended.
It was Gord Dineen that came in and took the puck around the net and came up the other side, and I think he was throwing it to the slot, and Kevin Hatcher, did a flat stick, and it kind of redirected off Kevin's stick. Pat was going for a line change, and that thing just kind of floated out to him, and he just took a look, and it was coming, so he just kind of did a little 360, shot a kind of a knuckle puck, and clanked off the post, and I wasn't sure if it went in, and then I could tell with the reaction of the fans that the puck had went in, and that was it.
And of course, during the handshake, all eyes were on LaFontaine and Mason, Olympic teammates just 3 years before, and now linked in history. But for Mason, it was another encounter that he'll always remember.
I remember just sitting on the ice with my head down in the crease before the line, the lines really formed, and all of a sudden you see a pair of pads, skates. My head was down. It was Billy Smith right in my crease. But at that time, Billy didn't shake hands with anybody. He came over, shook my hand. He said, "This is one of the best games I've ever seen in my life." So coming from him, that was like, wow. He was the guy for a lot of years. A lot of people don't know that either. And I was shocked when he came over there. So I remember that more than talking to Pat in the line, tell you the truth.
And all these years later, is he sick of the goal?
I don't mind it. I love it. It's part of history now, and a little traction, a little laughs every spring. So, but I wish we would have won the game.